Hi everyone, today we're going to do lesson 6-3, solve equations using the distributive property. Let's first take a look at the explain it. 6 friends go whitewater rafting. The total cost for the adventure is $683.88, including a $12 fee per person to rent flotation vests. Marcella says they can use the equation 6r plus 12 equals $683.88 to find the rafting cost R per person. Julia says they need to use the equation 6 times the quantity R plus 12 equals $683.88. And the question here in part A is, which equation do you think accurately represents the situation? And to do this, we need to look at what actually are the charges involved. So when 6 friends go whitewater rafting and they pay $683.88, you would expect that cost to be divided equally by 6. But what each person is paying includes the rafting trip and the $12 fee per person. So in Marcella's equation, the 6R, let me see if I can write this, plus 12 equals $683.88 represents that the 6 times the R tells me how much each of those friends are going to pay. But notice that the 12 is just added once. And because it's only added once, it does not meet the description that says the $12 fee is paid per person. Okay, so this $12 fee is added once, not for all, okay, for some reason my pen's not working here, all 6 friends. There we go. All right, so the equation that correctly describes this situation is the one that Julia wrote. And Julia's equation says 6r plus 12, meaning we're going to take the cost of the rafting trip and add the $12 fee to it. And then we're going to multiply that product or that sum by 6 to get the total cost, which is $683.88. Now let's take a look at example 1. This time we're going to learn how to solve an equation using the distributive property. Each of the graphic novels in Chen's collection increased in value by $3.50 in the last few years. If each graphic novel has the same value, what was the original value of one graphic novel? So what you see here is that the stack of all 10 of them has a current value of $75. We're going to use an area model here in this first part to represent the situation and to write the equation. So in this problem, G is going to represent the original value of that graphic novel. It tells us in the problem that each of them increased in value by $3.50, okay, in the last few years. We know that we have 10 novels altogether, so that's my 10 novels. And we know that their total value is $75. So 10 times the price of one graphic novel plus the amount that it increased is going to be the $75. So this is the original price, and this is that increase in value. Okay, so G is that original cost. Okay, and then the 10 is how many novels there are in that stack. So to solve this problem, we're going to use the distributive property first to see what 10 times G and 10 times 350 is. So here's those two parts. And then we're going to solve the equation just like we normally would. So 10 times g is 10g. 10 times $3.50 is 35, and that equals 75. Now you've got your two-step equation. So 10g plus 35 equals $75. So we're going to solve that. Okay, they do everything horizontally and I do everything vertically. So we're going to take away that 35 from both sides, because what we're looking for is how much is the 10g worth. Well, something plus 35 is 75, and that something is 40. So now I know that 10 of those original graphic novels had a cost of $40, which means each one of them is 4. Okay. All right, take a look at the try it. I want you to see if you can fill in those boxes. Come back and check your equation before you get started, and then we'll see if we can fill in the rest of the boxes or if we need to do it off to the side. So pause the video, try to fill in just this line right here, and then come back and check your answer. So let's first take a look at the equation. It says we have 32 figurines, so that's the 32 out to the front. And the value of each of them has increased the $2.32 over the course, over the course of the past year. Okay, so we have 32 of them. They've increased, which means we're going to be adding, okay, to that cost. And now we know it's worth $114.24. The original cost is the X number. So if I take the original cost and I add the $2.32 to it, and then I do that 32 times, because I have 32 figures, I'll get $114.24. Now, what I want us to do is, let's ignore the boxes. And what I want you to do is, we're going to do this over here off to the side in the white space. Now, you might not have white space on your, much white space on your paper, but you can go ahead and just mark through these boxes like this, and do it right here in this space that you see. Okay, so I'm going to do mine off to the side because that'll give me more space to write and for you to see it. So the first thing that we need to do is apply the distributive property. And when I apply that distributive property, I get 32 times X and 32 times $2.32, which is $74.24. Next, we're going to solve the two-step equation by first taking away from both sides the $74.24. It's supposed to be a 7. There we go. And when I do that, I end up with 32x equals 40. Now, in order to find out what x is, I'm going to divide both sides by 32. And x is equal to $1.25 each. So each of those figurines had an original value of $1.25. So far, the only difference that we've had between solving equations in this lesson and solving equations in the previous lesson is the fact that we have one extra step, and that is to apply the distributive property first before we go about solving our two-step equation. What I want you to do is I want you to study examples 2 and 3. See if you have any questions about how those problems are solved. And then I want you to complete the try-its at the bottom of page 345 underneath example 3. After you've tried those, come back and check your answers, and I will have the work and the answers for each of those for you to use in your check. All right, go ahead and take a look at the 3 answers and solutions to the try-its for A, B, and C. And once you've checked those over, pause the video while you do that. And once you've checked those over, then you can go ahead and move on to the next part. And we'll try some problems together. And then I'll send you off on your task to do your work on Pearson. All right, let's go ahead and do the question 4 here on the Do You Know How. A family of 7 bought tickets to the circus. Each family member also bought a souvenir that cost $6. The total amount they spent was $147. How much did one ticket cost? In this problem, we know that we have 7 family members that each got a ticket, and each of them bought that $6 souvenir. So we have tickets plus the cost of a souvenir for each family member. Since there are 7 of them, we're going to take that grouping and do it 7 times. That's where the distributive property comes in. And then 147 is how much they spent altogether. Go ahead and pause the video, see if you can solve that equation, and come back and check your answer. All right, so take a look at that solution. Distribute first the 7 across the t plus 6 expression to get 7t plus 42 equals $147. Then we're going to take away the $42 that was spent on just the souvenirs. And what we know then is that the 7 tickets have to have cost a total of $105. And then when I split that $105 up by 7, each ticket must have cost $15. Now what I'd like for you to do is to try question number 6 and come back and check your answer, and then we'll move on. Choice D is the correct answer. Although it's tempting to look at choice B, what I noticed here is that they also distributed a fraction 1/3 to the 135 and 2/10, which is on the right side of the equal sign. And if you recall that distributive property only works with the terms that are in the parentheses immediately following. So choice B is not correct. All right, let's move on. All right, on this page, I want you to try questions 7, 9, 10, and 12. You do not necessarily have to use the boxes on 7, 9, and 10, but they may be helpful in structuring your problem and completing that distributive property step first before you try to solve it. Okay, when you come back, I will have solutions to all 4 of these questions for you to check. All right, go ahead and check your answers here. Remember, you were doing specifically 7, 9, 10, and 12. I went ahead and did number 8 as well in case you felt like you needed some extra practice with the fractions. Don't forget that when you multiply fractions with whole numbers, it's numerator times the whole number and then divide by that denominator. If you're still having trouble with that, then come see me when you get to a problem like that, and I'd be happy to work through it with you. Okay, so check for sure 7, 9, 10, and 12. All of your work is there. And then you might also want to go back and put number 8 on your page as well, since I went ahead and did that one anyway. All right, and then you're ready to move on. All right, on this last page, I want you to go ahead and try numbers 14 and 17. Come back and check your answers when you're ready, and then you will be ready for your assignment. Okay, so let's take a look at these 2 problems and their answers. See if you follow along with my work, see if you agree, and then let me know if you have additional questions. If not, then once you have completed question 17, question 14 and 17, then you are ready to move on to your Math Excel assignment. It is in your Pearson account. Okay, 6-3 Math Excel is your assignment.